Let's see what's happening with Invidia's stock. There are very interesting volumes in the options, huge wall has appeared, and it will give us the key to deciphering where it will move next. We'll look at the volatility and the volatility smile. I'll show you what the market is forecasting in terms of price and where it's likely to move. I'll show you an interesting strategy that allows you to earn regardless of which way the price moves. Let's start from the beginning of Invidia's stock. On Friday, we had a very significant drop of 10%, and of course over the past 2 days we've almost recovered all of that drop, growing by almost 10% in that time. What does this tell us? Actually, it doesn't indicate anything good. As we can see, a very serious level of $840 was broken, which we tested several times. I wouldn't be surprised if we test it again, but we'll come back to that a little later. Let's look at the volatility and see what's happening. Volatility has slightly decreased after such a sharp rise. This is absolutely normal. Let's take a look at the volatility smile. Perhaps something has changed here. As we can see, towards the call options, towards the increase, volatility is not rising, meaning it remains flat. But towards the put options, towards the decrease, volatility is increasing. In principle, this situation is normal. Also, let's look at historical and implied volatility. As we see, these volatilities are approximately similar. I always say that we have the opportunity to trade not only the price itself, but also volatility. To do this, it is necessary to use options. All of this is done now. If you don't even know how to build strategies, there has long been artificial intelligence that can help you in this matter. We lead it here. We choose the stock we need, select volatility, select a decrease, also select, for example, a decrease by 20%. And here immediately we are provided with strategies that can be worked out. For example, the strategy suggests selling a put option and a call option with a strike price of $850 with an expiration date of November 15th. This is a so-called short straddle. Well, again, the strategy is quite risky. I would not recommend relying on artificial intelligence as well as on bots if you really think and make decisions independently based on your reasoning. Also, let's figure out this huge support wall. I think it will tell us where this stock is going. I remind you that this is the volume of options trading. As we can see, we have a very large volume concentrated from $800 to $850. These are call options. Almost all strikes have very large volumes. Regarding put options, it's the same from $800 to $830. These are put options. Also, I remind you that we have very large volumes concentrated specifically for this week. Nvidia, in general, is such a company that trades with closer dates and expirations, which in the end does not add much stability to the company and may at some point lead to a collapse in its price. This is primarily related to market makers who are obliged to hedge the sold call options. I always talk about this, and consequently, when hedging is not needed, they will have to unload all these stocks. Let's also look at the key supports. Actually, the key largest wall is from $800 to $150. And as we see, we haven't reached below $800 yet. We are stuck in these volumes. I fully admit that by the end of the week, we might fall. Let me give my forecast. If we close the week above $800 to $850, that's of course a positive view on the stock in the near future because gamma will be positive. The option gamma will be on the side of traders and investors. If we close below $800, for example, at $750, this situation is very bad. I would even say critical. If this happens, I fully admit that we may drop to $700. Again, this pullback was expected. Even in my previous video, I mentioned this pullback on the cover, but then the decline may continue. Everything will depend, of course, on where this price closes. Again, what can I say? Of course, at the moment, this stock is very expensive. I don't deny that the company is good. The company is good. I myself use its products, but at the moment, the stock price is just too high. Again, this is just my opinion. I fully acknowledge that at some point, through some fluctuations, we will still drop down, at least to $500. Again, if there's a strong recession, I think we'll drop to $300. But again, this is a very good sign, a very good time for investors because you can buy a good asset at low prices. Again, let's keep an eye on this stock. Let's see where the market goes. But sooner or later, I suppose that by the end of 2024, we'll face a recession and the market will dive below 4,000 points on the S&P 500. Again, this is my forecast, my opinion. Again, we'll see how it goes. If the recession doesn't happen this year, I fully accept that it may happen next year, and it's difficult to predict here. If it happens, then of course, it will be in the form of a very, very strong decline. If again, I fully accept that these values we set from the maximus for the coming years, possibly even decades. Again, if we haven't set them now, maybe we'll set them soon. I want to remind everyone just of my philosophy. I don't know where the price movement will go. I generally deny that you can guess the direction of price movement. I act completely differently according to mathematical analysis. I build strategies so that they meet my risk and give me positive mathematical expectation. Here, for example, is such a strategy. As we can see, if the stock falls, for example, to $600, we will make $1,015. If the stock is in the range of $800 to $800 to $850, we will make only $800. If the stock rises to $1,000, we will earn $15,000. So no matter where the stock goes, we make a profit anyway. Again, this strategy is very risky. There's uncovered call selling here. I absolutely do not recommend opening a position because you will definitely lose money. If you don't manage this position, and here you need to sell calls, buy additional calls, adjust them, change them until expiration, then you will make a solid profit. If not, you can lose a lot of money. Also, right away, I'm showing a forecast of where we're likely to think the price will go. What does the market think about this? And the market is more likely to assume that the price will be in the range from $800 to $820. Actually, these values are more likely, of course, on May 17th. That is, in 3 weeks, of course, if we choose some other dates, for example, September, then the situation here changes completely. The market assumes that in September 2024, the price will be more likely at the level of $750. That is, the price will fall. Again, reminding of my philosophies that it's impossible to predict price movement. The question is, why argue with the market? If the market tells you that the price will be such and such, then why argue with it? Again, here we practically have forecasts from the market itself. My friends, there are no bads, no one else. Specifically, what does the derivatives market assume? We can choose any date here, for example, June, and see what awaits us in June. We can choose, for example, March 2025. And as we can see, the market assumes a decline by March 2025, down to $700. Again, you can praise the situation as much as you want, but the market says otherwise. Why go against the market? I don't understand that. Again, this is not a call to inaction. If you bought it, if you are a long-term investor, of course, you can hold on to this stock. Moreover, I absolutely do not encourage anyone to sell this stock. Also, as promised, I'll show you the 3D volatility. Here we have all the expiration dates, all the strikes, all the information here. I usually use this chart to build and manage positions. It's very useful. Professionals often use it too. I also advise you to learn how to use it. It will come in handy for you. Also, I want to remind you that very soon I will launch a new experiment. Actually, right now, at the moment, I'm short of viewing hours. I already have plans for monetization. When I get monetization, I will open an account from scratch where we will invest, where I will manage the portfolio. As you can see, I'm already slowly preparing and refining the table. There will be even more information here. Here will be displayed information about all my stocks, as well as trading, and absolutely everything will be publicly available. I will post everything. I will try to make it as transparent as possible. I think within a few weeks we will start this experiment, and I will already be able to buy the first stock from my portfolio, analyze it, and I guarantee you it will be interesting. We will discuss indices, so subscribe so you don't miss the start of this experiment. Also, for a complete understanding of the Nvidia stocks, I advise you to watch my previous videos. There I clearly explain the reasons for the fall, why this may happen. I also advise you to watch the entire playlist related to stocks in the video. There I also very detailed explain what can happen. What are the risks here? Good luck to everyone.